Hey Lorraine, just thought I would record this little video here, just sharing some impressions I had of your store. So I've just opened up your store here. Um, this is the first time I'm looking at it, and the first thing I can see is that you seem to have quite a few navigation items, which is causing your navigation to wrap. Now, that's not a really terrible thing. Um, Everyone's going to be browsing on different sized screens, so that's not a huge problem. So you can probably safely ignore that. However, just when I hover over this one, I notice that your shop tab only has really two items in it. So perhaps you could trim your shop tab, just to give you that little bit of extra space for it. Perhaps to push these two up on a standard desktop size screen. Now let's start at the top and work our way down. So, okay, what have we got up here? Um, sorry. Okay, oh, okay. So that's showing you number of reviews. That's really, really small text for someone to look at. So I'd probably suggest you, considering this has got that key message of the number of reviews you have, I would consider perhaps making that writing quite a lot larger. I think that's probably around 12 pixels at the moment. Should probably be around 16. You can't count on the fact that everyone's going to have good vision, so we need to make the text as easy to read as possible. So um, let's keep scrolling down here. Um, Share the joy, Christmas. Okay. Um, I don't know what this writing means. Like, my first look when I see this, I don't really know what your store sells. Um, from the name of your store, my first thought was that you sold underwear or something like that. This tells me perhaps that's not for that, being the fact you have a image of a young child here. Um, Ideally, you should keep your language as clean and as clear as possible. Don't assume that someone coming to this store is going to know specific terms, either industry terms or product terms. They may not be people that are literally buying for themselves. They may be just buying for someone else. So you really need to make it clear um, what your store sells. So obviously this is something to do with Christmas because of the Christmas related call to action here. But beyond that, I don't really know what you sell. So let's scroll down a little bit further and see if you've got any information about what you sell. Okay, now scrolling down to this section, this shows that you probably sell. It looks now like you sell kids' dresses. So, okay, I've had to scroll down past your main banner to find out that. So consider perhaps changing the text in that banner to say a bit more clearly what you do. But let's have a look at this. So this is a new arrivals section. So what have we got here? So we've got a white dress. We've got so on. I've just noticed on these ones you have reviews. However, on this one it appears you don't have any at all. And these stars really do stand out that you don't have any reviews on these particular products. So I would suggest you, if there's no reviews at all available for a product, consider just hiding these stars just to make it really simple that you may not have any reviews, but not having the stars there is a bit more visually pleasing. So let me continue scrolling through here. So we've got the same thing with a couple of products that have no reviews. And okay, so yeah, from biggest takeaway from this section, if you don't have any reviews on a product, just consider hiding these stars. You would probably also benefit if your product price was a bit more obvious. So that could be something as simple as just increasing the weight of the price, so making it bold or something similar, just to draw my eye to the price a little bit more. So let's continue scrolling down. What have we got here? Merry and Bright Shop Christmas collection. This product over here, I can't really see what this text says at all. I think it says shop tweens or something like that. You could probably benefit from a coloured overlay or something similar. Perhaps just like a black colour with about 10% opacity that would just change the background colour a little bit to enable this text here to stand out. Once again, with the further section up the banner section, I don't know what a tween is, so I would not be reaching towards clicking this button to find out. I'd probably be more reaching over here because I know what Christmas stuff is. So I don't know if tween is an industry term or whether it is a hipster term. But yeah, consider changing that perhaps to something a bit more descriptive that an average person might be able to know what that is. So let's continue scrolling again. So we've got dreamy white dresses. Okay, so this is another section similar to the one above where we had the new arrivals. This time I can see that that's a sale item up here, but this sale notice seems to get a little bit lost in the rest of the tile, probably due to the size of the text as well. So if you were to increase the size of this text a little bit, that also probably looks around 12 pixels. So if we could make it about 14 pixels in size, you would probably make it a lot more visible to people to see. So let's scroll through the rest of them. So yeah, same thing with these ones. We have, these are a little bit more obvious, I guess, because of the color of the background. It doesn't seem to get as lost as this sale badge did. But the same thing applies with this section as well. If there is no product reviews on a product, just consider hiding these stars here. We'll scroll down here. Flower Girl Dresses, a beautiful collection of classic, modern, and bohemian style girls' clothing for newborn to 14 years. So this tells me a little bit more about what your store does, but I've had to scroll practically halfway down the page to find out what you do. So you might benefit from just moving this section higher up in the page. So perhaps maybe under that main banner, just to make it a bit more clear as to what you're selling. So timeless style, good prints and everyday wear. Okay, so that tells me a little bit about more about what you're doing and what you're selling. So yeah, that could benefit from being higher in the page. Let's scroll down here as well. So we've got another one of these 2x2 sections, and we have a similar problem to what we had up above. So this one over here, because of the colors of the image, I can actually read the text quite easily. whereas over here I can only just read the shop girls text. So these two would probably also benefit from the same treatment as the one up above, just having a coloured overlay just to make that text stand out. Shop collection, so whoops. Okay, so I have a pop-up. So pop-ups aren't necessarily a good idea because I have been just distracted by this. However, the good thing, I guess, is you have waited to display this pop-up until I've scrolled further down the page. So the only thing I might consider is just making this close button a little bit more obvious, so I know immediately that I can close this pop-up. Now I'm back to this section here, the shop collection section. So these are obviously quick links for me to find my way further into the store. So that's fine. Let's scroll further down. What have we got here? Gorgeous girls' dresses, proudly Australian. So this appears to be telling me a little bit more about what you do, which is good. Okay, so this tells me more about who you are. I can see here there's a shop now link, I think. That should ideally be a button, I think, as that's a call to action that I could potentially follow. So that could easily be lost, I suppose, because it's not showing up as a button like the other sections do above. Let's see what we get when we scroll through here. Okay, so this is the same thing. That this read more is a little bit more lost at the end. Yeah, so the biggest takeaway, I suppose, from this section here would be make this link here on all the slides, perhaps turn that into a button rather than just having that as a plain text link. It would help the customer understand more that they can click that and it will take an action for them. So now in the next section, so down here we've got some social proof, which is good. But I've had to scroll practically all the way to the end of the home page in order to find it. And people may not scroll all the way down. So it might be a good idea to move this section up a bit higher as well. But social proof is always good. It just probably should be a little bit higher in the page. But yeah, this is good. People like to see that other people are happy with their purchases. And so we've got an Instagram and newsletter sign up. 10% off your first order. Stay up to date with our new releases and stuff. Okay, so that's telling me why I should be signing up for your newsletter. Join us on Instagram. And now we'll have a look down here at the footer. So we've got your shipping and returns, your privacy policy, your terms. So these are things people are going to be looking for. So I can see you've got how you're going to handle things if I want to return an item. You've got your terms and conditions. You've got a privacy policy, so I know that you're probably not going to be selling my details to someone else. And there's also a little bit more here about your story if I want to click in and find out more about you. So now that we've had a look at the home page, let's find a product that we might want to look at. Let's have a look at this white dress here. All right. So the first thing I've noticed here, I can see we have some reviews here. That's good. there's your price there. But it appears that there's no points or features of this product here. Ideally, under the price, you'd like to have some kind of key features of this particular product, so that I don't have to scroll further down the page. Ideally, you want people to be having a look here, finding out what it is, perhaps seeing what the price is, knowing that they can afford to buy it, seeing some points or some features of this particular product. They can choose a side and they can add to cart straight away. They don't need to read further down. I can see down here there's a description, so there may be some features there, but I'll be having to scroll past the add to cart to find that. So consider under here, your theme may have a section or block called sales points that you could put in here, just so I don't need to scroll to find out what the features of this product are. So I'm going to scroll down now and just let's see what we've got in this description here. We can't get enough this gorgeous little white dress. Okay, so the heart emoji is adding a little bit of character to your store, which is completely all right. Now, scrolling down further, I can see we have some points here. So this is what I was talking about further up here. I've had to scroll all the way down past the add to cart button in order to find these features. So in order to add to cart, I now have to scroll all the way back up again. So if we were to put these little 3 to 4 dot points higher up underneath the price section, that would perhaps be a good thing. So let me come back down here again. So we have a sizing note. Okay. The fact that this is bold is telling me that I should be able to click this, unless this is a heading that belongs to this down here. Generous sizing. Okay. So this is, I think, a heading that's worked its way up here. Because my first thing I wanted to do was to click this or hover over it to find out what the sizing note was, only to find that this appears to be the sizing note here. So yeah, that might just be a formatting issue that you need to fix. Another thing that I've also noticed, there doesn't appear to be any buy now, pay later options like Afterpay or anything like that. So there may be some reasons as to why you've chosen not to have Afterpay, but a lot of larger stores do offer it, and you can potentially pad your prices a little bit to allow people to buy using the method that's best for them. So continue scrolling down here. I can see you've got some shipping information. So this is going to tell me the shipping costs approximately. So that's good. Returns. So this might be a return policy. Okay, that's good. I can see that you've got that there. What have we got here? Okay, so we've got some customer reviews. The thing that I've noticed, however, there's quite a lot of space here that's potentially making you scroll a bit more. So consider perhaps just removing this extra white space you've got here. So when I get to this point where the images stop, I can see white space at the moment. If you were to remove that white space, I'd be able to see that there's more stuff underneath. So we've got customer reviews here. What have we got here? Some questions and answers. Is it true to size? We think it's fairly true to size. Okay, so this is obviously addressing a question that someone's had. Okay, so that's what helpful crowd is. So yeah, always good to see reviews. This question and answer section is also beneficial for those people that may also be thinking whether or not the size is bigger or not. So that's useful things. Same thing here, we've got a really large gap that I had to scroll past, so that can be removed. You may also like, okay, so this is like you might also like section, okay. So yeah, the product page isn't too bad. It could just benefit from moving these features that are here in the product description, move them up here underneath here, hopefully with the aim that people will read those points, choose a size, and just add to cart without needing to come down here and read all this extra stuff. So let's just do a thing. I will choose a size here, so I'll choose a size 4, and I'll add to cart and see what happens here. Okay, so we've got a pop-out cart here. You might also like these. Okay, so we've got some upsells here. That's not bad. What else we got? Okay, so this whole section here is some upsells. That might benefit more from perhaps making these a sliding carousel, just to make the section a bit smaller so people can scroll or swipe through these items rather than having to scroll through them. There's also two other points that I've just noticed. So we have a checkout and a view cart button here. So checkout's pretty obvious as to what it does. View cart is a little bit confusing though, because I would presume that this is the cart. So I'm not certain why there's a view cart button there. And I can't see completely, but there seems to be an afterpay notice down here that is indicating you do offer afterpay. I can't be sure because I can't see it. It's all being hidden by this button here. So let's scroll down a bit. I can't even scroll and get it to scroll up. So perhaps if you were to remove this view cart button, it might actually enable this text to move up a bit higher. The other option would be to move your chat icon to the other side of the page, just so we can see what this writing actually says. It does appear to say you do offer afterpay. Let's just, for experiment's sake, click on this view cart button. Okay, so this takes us to a full cart page, and I can see on this page it does say you do offer afterpay, so I'm not certain why you're not promoting that on the actual product page itself, because people often do purchase using afterpay. It's becoming quite prevalent, so that's a key thing I think you should be promoting, or at least making a little bit more obvious, because once they've come to the cart page, it's potentially too late. They may have decided, since they couldn't see afterpay available on your product pages, that you don't offer afterpay at all, and they may go to another business that does. So key takeaways from this section. Sorry, can't seem to open that pop-up cart except on this page here, can we? Okay, so yeah, key points: consider making this upsell area a carousel, just so it's a lot easier for people to, potentially swipe through, then they don't have to grab and drag their way through the cart. And consider hiding this view cart button. It's not necessary, and because once people are opened up this cart drawer here, they're going to be reaching for that checkout button. So this view cart button is a little bit confusing. I hope this has been a little bit helpful. If you have any questions at all, you can feel free to leave a comment on the thread on the Shopify Business Australia group, and I'll try and answer any questions that you have.